Reading of the meeting notice, please.
The Board of Directors of the School District of the City of Erie, PA will meet in regular session on Wednesday, February 14th, 2018, in the auditorium at East Middle School, 1001 Atkins Street, at 6 p.m. by request of the President, Frank Petrunger, Jr.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Mrs. McNair,
Excused.
Mr. Spagel,
Excused.
Mr. Titus,
Here.
Mrs. Alexandrovich, here, Mr. Cassillo,
Excused.
Mr. Fabrizi,
Here.
Mrs. Feeney,
Here.
Mr. Harkins,
Here.
Mr. Petrunger.
Here. Pledge of Allegiance led by Amari Rayford, 5th grade student of Edison Elementary School, introduced by Mr. Kevin Harper, principal, followed by a moment of silence for Ruth Gidgenbach, retired teacher who passed away on December 4th, 2017. Mary Orlando Zalonis, thank you. Former custodian who passed away on January 10, 2018. Larry DeChacco, retired engineer who passed away on January 31st, 2018. Stephen Bernie Novotny, teacher, retired teacher who passed away February 1st, 2018. And Yolanda Seminsky, retired cafeteria manager who passed away on February 3rd, 2018. Mr. Harper.
Afternoon, board, everyone. I'd like to introduce one of the best and brightest in our school and in the Erie School District, Mary Rayford. She is a grade A student. She has all A's in all of her classes this year. We're very proud of her and her accomplishments in our school. She is a member of, you may see her on our Facebook page as a member of our dance team and our cheerleading squad and our basketball team. So she's very, very well-rounded. So I'm gonna introduce Ms. Amari Rayford. Thank you.
Everybody stand, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All A's. You keep working hard, okay?
Thank you so much. Yeah. School Board is pleased this month to recognize retired 6th Ward District Justice Dominic D. DiPaolo for his years of service to our students and families. In December, Judge DiPaolo completed his 24th year as District Judge in Erie 6th Ward. Over the course of his career, he did nearly 500 truancy cases for students in many of our schools. In 1994, Judge DiPaolo created a truancy and juvenile diversion program for first-time truancy offenders that allowed over 500 youth to complete community service hours instead of receiving punitive punishment. Judge DiPaolo also ensured that nearly $400,000 in fines collected from truancy hearings was directed to the school district and support its general operating budget. Judge DiPaolo's care and concern extended beyond his role as a district justice. After the death of his son, Patrick, in 2013, Judge DiPaolo and his family created a scholarship fund in Patrick's name for local high school students. He continues to be involved in fundraising efforts for this fund in order to ensure that his son's legacy as an educator and coach impacts students well into the future. We are grateful to Judge DiPaolo for his years of service to the students and families of various public schools and wish him well in his retirement for public life. Judge, if you'd come on up. Thank you very much.
John, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Introduction of Olivia Kelly, student representative to the board for February and March 2018 for Northwest PA Collegiate Academy. Olivia Kelly is a junior at Collegiate Academy and is one of the co-presidents of her class. She has held a position in Student Senate as an officer and secretary for the last 2 years. Her parents are Robin Kelly, a nurse, and Brian Kelly, an engineer. Olivia attended Bell Valley Elementary School and then James S. Wilson Middle School, both in the Mill Creek School District. She has one sister, Sophia, who is in 7th grade. In addition to Student Senate, Olivia participates in a Tri-M Music Honor Society, National Honor Society, Model UN, the Gifted Students Club, Science Olympiad, PJS, PMEA, and several community orchestras. Olivia currently holds officer positions in 2 other clubs. She recently traveled with a group of peers to the United Nations in New York to present a solution for gender and racial inequality in the workplace. In the future, Olivia would like to earn her PhD and carry out research in genetic philosophy. I don't think you're doing enough. Olivia?
Thank you. I really am so excited for this opportunity to sit with the board, and I'm very grateful that I get to represent my school and to help express our opinions. So thank you very much.
Thank you. I'd like to announce the board met in executive session on Wednesday, February 7th, 2018 in conference room 3 of the Dr. James E. Barker Leadership Center, 148 West 21st Street, from 6:12 p.m. to 6:55 p.m. regarding personnel and real estate matters, and this evening, Wednesday, February 14th, 2018, in the library of East Middle School from 5:18 p.m. to 5:49 p.m. regarding legal matters. Mr. Superintendent, report of the superintendent.
Thank you very much. I have a number of very impressive student achievements to report tonight at the start of my report. First, congratulations to Collegiate Academy senior Paul Karam, who was featured as a good kid on Jet TV this week. Congratulations also to Jefferson student Nant Mercy Sante, who was selected as a winner of the My Teacher is an Olympian contest sponsored by the PSEA, PAPTA, and the Partnership for Public Education. Nant Mercy submitted her entry to recognize Jefferson teacher Miss Jeanette Vegas as an Olympian in her classroom. We're also very proud of our students from Collegiate who traveled to New York this month to present at the United Nations as a part of the Samsung Global Solve for Tomorrow program. Olivia Kelly, Hannah Hooch, and Aaron Fleming participated in a web conference with a team from Tunisia to create a sustainable development goal that they presented at the UN. Collegiate Academy was also notified today that 3 of their students had advanced to finalists in the National Merit Scholarship competition, and that's out of 16,000 semifinalists nationwide. Congratulations, Ahmed Abukar, Noah Bongiovanni, and Gregory Westfall. Our partners at METS continue to make great strides in ensuring that our students are receiving a healthy breakfast at the start of the school day. METS participates in the National Breakfast in the Classroom program and was recently featured in a report by Food Research and Action Center as an example of a large school district that is steadily increasing breakfast participation through the program. According to the report, over 60% of our students took advantage of this program in 2016. That's a huge increase from what it was before the program was initiated. Our inaugural winter sports season for the Erie High Royals is wrapping up this month. Both our girls and boys basketball teams will be taking on McDowell for the 6A title on February 20th. The girls will play at 6 p.m. and the boys at 7:30. Both games will be held at the Prep and Villa Event Center on West 12th Street. Our varsity wrestling team will participate in district championships at McDowell on February 24th, and our varsity swim team will travel to the Spire Center in Ohio for districts on March 2nd. We wish all our teams and athletes good luck on this finish of their season. Many of our schools celebrated various events during We Love Erie's Public Schools Week in early February. As part of the week's events, the Partnership for Erie's Public Schools launched a teacher wish list campaign to help replenish classroom supplies in our buildings. The full list is available on the PEPS website, and PEPS will be collecting donations of cash and supplies and matching them up to $2,500 in order to purchase all the items on the list that the teachers have submitted. Thanks to those that have donated already and to PEPS for spearheading this effort. Lastly, we are making final preparations for the first core planning sessions of our strategic plan, which are scheduled for next week. We have received confirmation from nearly 100 parents, community members, staff, and administrators who will be participating in these sessions. Ms. Habersky and her team have been working on compiling student data and a curriculum summary, and that is going to be the basis of our work as we start the strategic plan process. We're very excited to begin this with our consultant from Performance Fact, and we'll be keeping the board and public updated through our website and social media as the project progresses. That concludes my report.
Thank you. Can I have a motion to accept the superintendent?
I so move.
Mr. Harkins, second by Ms. Alexandrovitz. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing the citizens. Persons desiring to speak for 5 minutes must submit their request in writing to the Secretary's office at least 1 week prior to the board meeting. All others may speak for 3 minutes. Our first speaker would be Mr. William McDonald of Erie, speaking on the topic of Erie School District business. Is Mr. McDonald here? Don't see him. Our second speaker will be Mr. William Samick of Erie, speaking on various school-related topics.
Evening all. I'll try to make this short and sweet because it seems like every time I come up here and talk to you guys, it doesn't seem a whole heck of a lot seems to be getting done. Basically, the first agenda is when the teachers had meetings and stuff like that, I think for the parents and stuff like that, I think was back in like November. I mean, are they supposed to have one every quarter? Or is it just like one a year and that's about it? The other thing I'd like to bring up also is that my daughter, being that she's a sophomore in Erie High right now, she's been doing her homework or whatever that she needs to get done. And she turns it in, and basically we're looking at her reporter and stuff like that, and they're basically indicating that they're missing assignments. Well, I've been trying to get a hold of somebody at the school district and stuff like that, still can't get a straight answer as to what's going on. The other issue is that we've been having a big rash, even across the whole entire state of the board, is that, we're getting a lot of kids sick, with this viral infection that's going around and stuff like that. I mean, I think one state, they had to shut down the school for an entire week because they had so many kids off sick. And I wound up, my one daughter, she wound up being sick for a couple of days and stuff. And I've come to find out, that there's, you're only allowed to have like 10 off for kids that are in high school. And then all of a sudden, you get a letter in the mail sitting there saying you got to go before a judge, basically, give a reason why, my daughter or whoever is off sick and stuff like that. And it seems like I pretty much told my daughter, I said, they're going to be that way from now on. You basically, if you're sick, you're going to go. You basically go to the nurse's office, you pass out in the nurse's office, have them call for an ambulance. So, I mean, it's just, to me, it's just that, we got a big rash of, what's going on with the viral infection and stuff like that. And it seems like every time I try to get a hold of them, I was trying to get a hold of you, Mr. Polito, and I wound up getting a call from, I think it was either the principal or assistant principal at Erie High. That's not the person I wanted to talk to. I wanted to talk to you directly about the issue as to what's been going on here and stuff like that. For what if I'm paying school taxes and stuff like that, and these things are not, the things that I asked for and not getting done and stuff like that, then what's the point? you know, it's just, to me, it's just like every time I come up here to talk about something, just nothing seems to be happening. So, I mean, however you guys want to do it, but, you know, it seems like to me, it's just, with the way everything's going on, especially after today, you know, down in Florida, you know, they had a school shooting down there and stuff like that. I'm like, you know, hopefully you guys are set up, you know, for the schools here for that, you know, because I don't want to wind up getting phone calls and they're saying my daughter's injured because of, you know, because we're not prepared for it and stuff like that. So, I mean, that's pretty much about all I got to bring up, you know. But the thing is that it seems like we should have, the biggest thing I think is that we should have more parent-teacher meetings. You know, we only had one back in, I think it was like October or November, and that was it. There should be one, as far as I'm concerned, there should be one every quarter. So that way we can find out how, you know, how the progression of our child is going along and stuff like that. And there's only been one meeting, you know, and every time I check my daughter's portal and stuff like that, the assignments that she's completing and turning in, they're showing up missing, you know. So I don't know, I'll let you guys figure that out, but that's about all I got on that part right there. So unless you guys want to talk to me at the end of this meeting or something like that, I'd be more than happy to talk to you about it. But 5 minutes is just not enough time to sit there and talk about it. So that's about all I got.
Thank you. 3-minute speakers. If there's any, please state your name, print out your name and address on the tablet provided on the podium. Anybody like to speak for 3 minutes?
Good afternoon.
Afternoon.
My name is Howard Bibbs, AKA the Mayor on Chestnut. I missed your last meeting. One of the directors met me out in the hall, and we had a couple of words, and I guess he really didn't believe what I was saying. So today I brought some proof in terms of what I was saying. Right here, I have a statement from Northwest, which has the escrow of my mortgage. This goes back to 2012. So keep 2012 in mind. This goes back to 2012. And it shows that on February 2012, I paid school tax, and then it shows that 9/12 of 2012, I paid school tax again, okay? Now, let's move forward to 2016. This is when everybody received the letter from the school district mapping out the new schedule of payment of the school tax. Now, the only reason that I got one is because I own the property, I live in the property, and I rent the upstairs. So I'm a landlord, and I'm also a resident. So that's why I got the part that went out to all the residents in 2016. So when you go from 2012 to 2016, this is why I said that there was unfair taxation, because it went like 4 years before you decided to send it out to the other residents, okay? But the thing that got me here was, it says, however, we recently discovered the district's current tax collection cycle is out of compliance with the Pennsylvania local tax collection law. So I went into that particular law. I tried to find what was being said here. Only thing that I found, and I can see where you can get kind of misconstrued, but this is a legislative law, and generally for the school, it's an SB law, school bill. Legislation is an H bill, House bill, okay? And this law is saying, however, that a tax notice shall be sent to every taxable whose name appear on the duplicate no later than the first day of July following receipt of the taxes assessed in issue and delivered by the taxing district, day of June, and provide further that the municipalities that have adopted a home rule under the Act of April 13th. My time up already?
3 minutes, yes, sir.
That was 3 minutes? Y'all just, okay.
Why don't you have them? See them? Sir?
Yes.
Sir, Dave or Randy, if you would be able to meet with him after, there's a gentleman up there that can discuss your issue in the back of the audience there.
What's his name? Dave?
Who's it, Dave? Dave Namair.
Raise your hand, Dave, so he
Okay.
sees you.
All right, I see him. The only reason I'm bringing this back up is because one of the guys challenged what I was saying. I just want to show what I'm saying is true.
Yeah.
That's all.
I think David can explain it more than anybody. He's one of our CPAs.
Well, I came here in 2012. I went to the building on 21st Street. Nobody could explain it. Back in 2012. You might be able to explain 2016 because that happened to everybody.
Okay.
But what happened in 2012 only happened to landlords. That's the gripe. It only
Thank you.
happened to landlords.
Anybody else like to speak for 3 minutes? We'll move on. Reports of committees and liaisons, is there any? Not hearing any. We'll go on, move on to unfinished business. We have none. New business,
Mr. Chairman,
Mr. Harkins.
I move we adopt the new business of the school district as it is, sits before us.
We have a motion to approve new business. Can I get a second?
Second.
Second by Darlene. Sorry. Any discussion? If not, roll call, please.
Mr. Titus?
Yes.
Mrs. Alexandrovich? Yes. Mr. Fabrizi?
Yes.
Mrs. Feeney?
Yes.
Mr. Harkins?
Yes.
Mr. Petrunger?
Yes. Approval of the minutes of January 10th, 17th, and 23rd, 2018.
Move we approve them?
Motion by Mr. Harkins. Second by Linda. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Bills and payroll. The Board of School Directors approved the board authorized payrolls for the period of January 5th, 2018 through January 26th, 2018, the schedule of bills for February 2018, and non-major proprietary funds of January 2018.
I move that we pay them.
Motion by Mr. Harkins,
Second.
second by Mr. Fabrizi. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Mr. Titus?
Yes.
Mrs. Alexandrovich? Yes. Mr. Fabrizi?
Yes.
Mrs. Feeney?
Yes.
Mr. Harkins?
Yes.
Mr. Petrunger?
Yes. Report of the Secretary, approval of the report of the financial report for the 6-month period ending December 31st, 2017. Can I get a motion to approve?
I so move.
Motion by Mr. Harkins. Second. Second by Linda. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Mr. Titus?
Yes.
Mrs. Alexandrovich? Yes. Mr. Fabrizi?
Yes.
Mrs. Feeney?
Yes.
Mr. Harkins?
Yes.
Mr. Petrunger?
Yes. There's no awards on bids. Is there any other matter anybody would like to discuss?
Mr. President?
Yes.
Could you explain, or could someone explain, just what does constitute an excused absence? Do we have somebody who could just, so if a kid was going to say, what is an absence, like what would be an excused
I think our
absence? that they could-
solicitor would be able to handle that.
For the board or for students?
For students.
Okay. I didn't know what you were asking. The school code doesn't specifically define what an excused absence is, but it requires individual school districts to define how they define it. And so there is a big attendance policy section in the district student handbook that specifies 15 or 16 different reasons that the school district accepts for being a legal excuse from school.
If a parent needed to get access to, where would a parent get access to the handbook?
Well, it's mailed home to every student at the beginning of or the end of summer, prior to the start of the school year, and it's on the website.
Is it the whole school, or the whole handbook is on the website?
Correct.
Okay, thank you. And then if an excuse needed to be turned in, does that just go directly to the principal's office, or where do they bring it to their school, or how do they turn in the excuse?
Usually every school has an attendance officer, which is in like the main office at every school.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome.
Anything else? If not, I apologize to all the wives out there that we had a meeting on Valentine's Day. And to all the husbands, you're welcome. I'll take a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
By Mr. Harkins, can I have a second? Second by Linda. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Meeting's adjourned.